Hey guys, what is up? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far, and I am here with the Room for Ruby League, so just keep in mind that I'm going to be going over the 2-minute clip as well as the 9 screenshots that were leaked from the actual episode itself. So if you want to remain completely spoiler free, click off this video and then come back to it later because I will be spoiling parts of this episode. But with that, let's get into the 2-minute preview clip. So the clip starts out with Garnet and Steven on the porch of his house, and they are stargazing, and they see a shooting star. And so Steven tells Garnet to make a wish on it, and then asks her like what she wished for. And so Garnet's like, oh, I wish that there was another shooting star so that you can make your wish. And so Steven's like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe you would do that. Then he looks and he sees that there's actually a shooting star in the sky. But then he starts to hear that it is actually screaming, and he's like, wait, is that star screaming? And it plummets into the earth, and we see that it is actually Navy of the Ruby Squad. So Steven's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it, it's Navy. And Garnet's like, that's a ruby. He's like, no, I named them after where their gems are, it's on her navel, so I call her Navy. And Garnet's like, oh, that makes sense now. So Navy leaps at Garnet and Steven makes a bubble, and then we just see this face. This face is going to be everywhere because this is just so cute and adorable. But basically it's Navy just asking like, hey, I want to live here on Earth, please don't attack me. So the two are obviously very shocked at this. Garnet's like, oh, that was unexpected. And then Steven starts kind of like listing off everything that he and the Crystal Gems did. And Navy was always like the nicer Ruby out of the Ruby Squad there. The only other one that was like probably considered like nice was the rookie one who just had like no idea what she was doing. Steven starts like going through everything that they did to Navy and the other Ruby Squad, and she's pretty like, oh no, like playing baseball with you guys is fun. Amethyst turning into Jasper, tricking us out was actually pretty clever. And then Steven's like, well, what about us taking your ship and then leaving you in space? And she's like, oh, well, we were fighting then, so that made sense. But she wants to live on Earth. She doesn't want to go back to Homeworld. So that's where the 2-minute clip cuts off, basically. So now let's take a look at the images. So the first image that we have here is Peridot and Steven looking pretty stoked about Ruby. It looks like Lapis is keeping Ruby up, or I should say Navy, up in a bubble, and also like pumpkins tied to a hose. So I mean, it seems like Steven and Peridot are pretty stoked about Ruby coming to live with Lapis and Peridot at the barn, but Lapis doesn't look too thrilled about it, which I mean makes sense because it's Lapis. And then the second image, it's from that 2-minute clip of Garnet and Steven looking down when Navy was like plummeted towards Earth, and she was like in that little crater that she made. And then again we have Peridot looking super excited and happy, and then Lapis not looking super excited and happy. So this might just be Steven like talking to Peridot and Lapis, telling them like, hey, Ruby's gonna come and live with you guys now, or Navy's gonna come and live with you guys now. And then we have like Peridot and Lapis and Ruby and Steven like soaking wet from something. And Ruby's looking super excited. Peridot's looking pretty pleased, and then they like drew an alien on the chalkboard, so I don't know what's going on there. But they just might just be like getting to know each other and like having fun and stuff. And then it looks, again, Peridot's just looking super stoked and happy this episode, and Lapis is not. It looks like they could be showing Navy the meat morphs that they made, so that'd be pretty fun to see them talk about their meat morphs and how Navy reacts to that. And then we get Lapis looking down at Navy holding a pumpkin, so the two are probably just talking there. And then we have Pumpkin, Peridot, and Steven looking kind of, at least Peridot and Steven looking kind of shocked at something. Pumpkin just doesn't care. Pumpkin's just like perpetually happy pretty much all the time. And then we get a little sad Navy here looking all upset and bummed. So I wonder if Lapis said something mean to her. And then the last image here, we got Steven hanging on with Lapis, Peridot, and Pumpkin. So I'm wondering if this is the ship that the Crystal Gems have, and if they like left it at the barn, because we know that you know, obviously the crystal gems have the rubies ship, so Navy wouldn't have that. So maybe this was all just kind of like a trick to try and get the ship back. And she's trying to like take off with it or something like that. I kind of hoping that Navy stays, because I think it'd be really awesome getting like another crystal gem into the mix. But I gotta give credit to Ostrich Fox, because when this episode was first announced, he pretty much called that Ruby would be staying with Peridot and Lapis. So yeah, I mean, that looks like what this episode is going to be about. Peridot and Lapis getting to know Navy and making room for Ruby in their barn home as their new barnmate. So yeah, looking forward to this episode. It seems like it's going to be pretty funny, and I love Lapis and Peridot. I love any episode that they're in, because I think those two are just so funny together. Plus you got Navy now, and like the rubies are always funny. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty funny episode, and it has the potential to also progress the plot a little bit, maybe, in regards to the rubies and them being out in space. So yeah, but we shall see what happens. Will the crystal gems actually go back and get the rest of the rubies back? Because Steven didn't seem too in a hurry to get the rubies back, and he didn't even seem like surprised when he saw Ruby, like, oh, that's right, I said I should go get the other rubies back when we were done with the zoo. Excuse me, you never said that, so maybe those rubies are just gonna be left in space. So yeah, but let me know what you think of these leaks. Let me know what you think this episode is going to be about, because I would love to hear it. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Steven Universe related content, and until next time, guys, take care.